Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this lecture 5 on advanced persistent threat attribution and detection video series. So in this lecture we will look into one of the publicly available open source APT attribution framework named as MICTIC framework, and we will see what are all the different phases of this MICTIC framework in detail. So let's get started. Previously we have seen couple of frameworks, a couple of APT attribution methods that are available in the market, and various security firms will follow different techniques for APT attribution. But here the problem is that there is no publicly available frameworks which defines the technical process of this APT attribution. So in previously, few years back, the Q model by Thomas Ben tried to address this problem of lack of publicly available open source framework for APT attribution. But Thomas actually tried to consider more political aspects rather than the technical aspects. So this was not considered as a the publicly acceptable framework for APT attribution. So in order to tie those loose ends and in order to come up with a much more robust APT attribution framework, in 2020 Timo Stephenson came up with this MICTIC framework to attribute or to tag a particular APT actor or country or individual to a particular espionage of the state-sponsored APT groups. So this is the high-level overview of MICTIC framework. Coming to the in details of this MICTIC framework, it will basically cover 6 different aspects in APT attribution method. So first one was malware. So malware aspects mainly targets addressing the issues like reverse engineering and configuration of dev environmental settings and timestamp of this binary creation and the strings that the attackers has used in this particular binaries and its particular language settings of the malware that they have developed, and whether they have purchased any open source binaries from dark web or not. So these are all the techniques, or these are all the tactics that they are going to address in this malware aspect. And there is a dedicated team working in this direction. Coming to the infrastructure part, so many APT groups are believed to have a dedicated infrastructure maintenance group, and because it is not just like just hacking the network and stealing some sensitive data, so they stay inside the network for a long time. So here the technical team need to address various aspects like who is collecting who is data, and who purchased that particular websites and at what time, and by analyzing all these things you will get some idea about what is the magnanimity of this whole APT campaign. So there is a dedicated team working in this direction for collecting who is data and linking that data to private websites that the hackers has compromised, etc. So this is another aspect. And coming to the third one, control servers. So getting access to control servers typically needs law enforcement involvement, and so in this particular aspect they will cover the source code of the malware and the logs collected from the victim network, and they used to go and seize the hard disks of the victim networks or victim machines, and then they will analyze this particular thing, but it needs the approval of law enforcement agencies. So there is a dedicated team working in this aspect. And coming to the another aspect called telemetry, so it is mostly the manual process. After getting the logs, they will inspect the every details of the logs and RDP sessions and C2C communication, etc. In this telemetry process. So it will try to give an overview about the activities of operations inside the victim network, and timestamps when the attackers are particularly active in the network, So this is going to give much more insights about the activity that is there in the victim network, and there is a dedicated the team which is working offline for analyzing this data. And coming to the intelligence part, so apart from the previous aspects that we have seen, security firms need to look into the completely orthogonal direction to they need to be active in the dark web forms, and they need to observe the latest trends that most of the black hat groups or APT groups are actively involved. So for example, I will say one example. So in few years back, there is a Russian APT group which is actively trying to hack the smart meters of gas pipelines, and there is a lot of discussion happening in between European countries and Russian countries in the dark web forms about they will exchange the intelligence, and they will exchange the tutorials for hacking the smart meters, etc. So there is a special team which need to track and monitor these kind of activities in the dark web as well, so which will be used for APT attribution. So there is a team called intelligence team which will address these issues. And finally, there is a team working on cui bono. So cui bono is a Latin term which will stand for who get the profit at the end of the day. So this is all about state sponsored APT attacks. So they have some geopolitical or financial motivations behind every APT espionage. So there is a particular team working in this direction to find out the geopolitical analysis and the strategic motivation behind this particular APT espionage. So they will collect the public policies and various discussions that are happening in the parliaments, etc., to gather the information, and they will try to correlate that particular thing with the APT espionage. So Timo Stephenson has proposed these 6 pillars or 6 aspects to give a better understanding about the whole APT attribution process. So this was very recent, and this was considered as a polished version of this diamond model in a way. And this will this will give a better understanding and the better insights about various directions of APT attribution. So this is all about MECTIC framework. I hope you got very good insights about this MECTIC framework, and hopefully we will meet in the next class. Thank you.